Well, g'day everybody. My name is Nemeth. I'm a whip maker from a long line of whip makers. And following over the last few years literally hundreds and hundreds of inquiries for multi-plait whip kits, we finally made the time and put the effort into perfecting a whip kit that I'm quite confident that you'll be able to plait and have fun with, and indeed have a very good, decent result whip at the end. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the kit. Of course, it's going to come to you presented much differently than this, but I want to explain what's in the kit. Firstly, you would have seen me working on the stand just a little earlier, my plaiting stand, and you obviously don't have one of these. So I'm sending you a piece of leather. It's just a piece of leather, and that allows you to fix this point, just like this point here, my plaiting point, to a doorknob in your house, a tree in the yard, the fence around the swimming pool, post under the house, however you want to do it. From there, the rest of the whip consists of the belly that I've just shown you, the whip kit, the belly that I've just shown you. Now the handle, this is a 12 plait whip that I'm displaying to you. The handle will come to you in the kit already made up. Now the reason for that is there are so many things that can go wrong with doing the handle and different individual pieces of strand that I have concern that you might not make the handle with the right load and balance. So in the kit, the handle will already be plaited and made. Now the final part of the kit is the whip fall, when we'll show you how to attach that as we get through it, and of course the cracker. Also in the kit there's a bit of bolster. We call it flick in my workshop, but a lot of whip makers and saddlers, they'll call it bolster. It's just two thin pieces of leather cut to length, and I'll explain that as we get into it. The kit itself, the strand itself, is here, and we've decided to offer the kits in two-tone only. This in this container is my special whip conditioner, and we build whips using this. Lots of people are asking me for the formula for it. I refuse to give it away, but you'll get plenty of conditioner. Okay, so having gone through what's in the kit, I want to show you now how to use what's in the kit. And the first step is just to find somewhere to tie these two 6-plait thongs off. So having ascertained that you have everything in the kit that's required, the next step is how to use each individual piece. So the first step now into plaiting the whip is to condition each of the different coloured strands. So when we put these together, you'll have 12 strands, but at the moment you've got two 6-plait thongs, and we're just going to put the conditioner on it so it slips and it's great to plait. And it's just a matter of grabbing a bit of conditioner and running it down the strand just like this. Nothing very spectacular about this. Just run it down the strand, work it in, part of the thong down, put some fat through it. And we're just taking the excess conditioner off now, and you'll see it's made the strand much more supple instantly, and it's made it just a little slippery, and it's that slippage we need to plait the whip up. So here we have the first part of the project, the keeper holder, the first part of the kit. Now you would fix this to your fixed point. In this case, I'm going to just fix it to my stand, and the plait will begin. We need now to fit the belly to this plaiting, the keeper holder. Here's our belly, and as you can see, it's nice and solid, very flexible indeed. The keeper is formed here in these two pieces, in the red hide and in the veg split. And what we're going to do now is just fit this straight through there to our keeper holder and back onto my fixed point. So now we have the belly just coming and running through, I'll just put and we'll send you a piece of strand so you can do this. It's just a matter of running down it now, just to make sure it's all nice and tightly snug. And what we've done is we put these two pieces of hide that were originally one piece of hide back together, so that they will marry back together just beautifully. So we have the system of bellies. They are attached to the keeper holder, and we've got our two strands, 6 strands on this side, 6 strands on this side. And what we're doing now is we're simply dividing them in half, 3 each, split them just like that, and put 3 in from each side, so that you end up with a result just like that. The same colour, 6 strands coming through, and the same colour, 6 strands coming through this side. And it's just a matter of splitting them down the middle, just as I said, and putting them down. So you've got 2 above and 3 above, sorry, and 3 below the other strand. So we have 6 strands, all of the same colour, on the left-hand side. And we have 6 strands, all of the same colour, on the right-hand side. And this is where the colour difference will come in handy for people that are just wanting to do a nice kit, because it's going to make it so much easier for identification of strand. And now the plait begins. Now anybody, absolutely anybody, can plait. It's just such a simple process, and we're going to explain it now. From the top strand on the right-hand side, we come across and through the centre of the 3 strands. So we're cutting the 3 strands on the left-hand side in top. So we're going through the middle. And then from the left through the centre of the 2 strands on the other side. So we're cutting them in the middle. 3 and 3 are separated by the brown strand or the tan strand coming through. Again from the right. Now I told you plaiting was easy. You've only got to know your right and your left hand. Through the centre or through the middle, through the 3, so we've got 3 top, 3 bottom, again from the left. And at this stage we're not interested in plaiting tight. At this stage we're interested in forming a perfect keeper to attach to the stock once we plait this down. And now from the left hand side, just nice and gently, we're not pulling too tight, we're just making all this mesh. These 12 strands mesh together. Number 4, number 5, number 6. Now we're just straightening up, just straighten everything up, come back and check everything out. Make sure we've got 2 fingers here, we're not too tight. It'd be a real poor thing to pat the whip down and find you too tight here on these keepers, because we need to attach the stock by way of the keepers. So it needs to be just on 2 fingers. And again, we're just pulling gently now, because we want all this to mesh together. We don't want to go cutting through here by pulling too tight. So we're here, next one down now, next one down, number 4 from the right hand side, number 5, number 6. And we're coming again from the opposite side again now, just gently, not too much weight in it. We'll put some weight once we get that keeper formed and we're happy with the result. 5 and 6. We've come down to the point now where we have our 2 pieces of bolster down the belly, and we have the 2 ends of our keeper running down the belly. It's the bolster now that we need to start tapering out, and you'll find one piece is a bit longer than the other. So just take the shorter piece and just use your knife. This is just a Stanley blade, it's extremely sharp. You get them at the supermarket or somewhere, and you will need a Stanley blade, that's for sure. So there's the shortest piece of bolster, just tape it out, and beginning at the end of the short piece, we'll just come down now and we'll just taper that down, and that'll give us a nice smooth run into the taper of the whip. As you can see, we're a bit narrower here and we're bulking up. We've come up, so we've made like a tube, and this part's just a little bit bulkier. And now we've straightened out our bolster or our flick, and we're just plaiting down over it now. So these are my sharp nose pliers. You will need a pair of these, and you've probably got a pair laying around the shed somewhere around the workshop. If not, go to the hardware store, spend $5 or $10, buy yourself a pair. Now, the plait, there is no such thing as a good loosely plaited whip. A loosely plaited whip may as be thrown away, and here's the first point where I want you to check that you've got a nice tightly plaited whip. So we'll put our pliers on, and we'll just pull straight down the line with the pliers. And if that bolster won't pull out, good on you. You've got a tightly plaited whip. That's the first thing you have to stop worrying about. You don't have to worry about it. Put some load on it. If it doesn't pull out, then indeed you've got a nice tightly plaited whip. And as I said earlier, these strands are there for you in years to come. If you ever break a strand, it's not the end of the whip. It means you've got to do an hour or two's work to retrieve it and replait it, but this should be a whip for life for you, a kangaroo hide whip. Okay, we have now reached our 2 feet 3 inch mark. 2 feet 3 inches is the first dropping sequence for the strands on a 6 foot stock whip. Now we have 6 strands from the right hand side, and we are searching for the shortest strand, which is indeed this one here. Drop the rest, and there we've identified our short strand, which is here, and just put a little half hitch in it just to identify it for you. And we need to bring this dropping strand, the strand that we're going to drop into the belly, to the top to be number 1 up there. So I'll just bring this one through. And this dropping sequence is critical to the tapering of the whip. Absolutely critical that we do it at the right spot. No good doing it at 2 foot 2 inches or 2 foot 4 inches, because I'm telling you it's critical to do it at 2 foot 3 inches. And there we are. And there's our strand now, our dropping strand, the one we've marked and identified with that half hitch. And we're just pulling it tight, but rather than bringing it through as before and through the center of the 2 other strands, we're just building it up, forming it up just like that, and we're letting this now run down the belly of the whip. Okay, so we've reached the 3 foot mark, 3 feet, and we're now going to go into the second dropping sequence. And before we do that, we have the first lot of strands that we drop back up here, and we're going to have to taper those out now, because as I said earlier, the tapering is very, very important. So these strands cease to exist. And just taping them out nice and level like that. We're just going to plait over a couple. Now we've taped them, we've taken them out. And we're going to go right on the 3 foot mark, and I've just measured that previously off camera, and that now is at 3 feet. So we're going to separate the strands, so we have 5 on this side and 5 on this side, and again we are going to come down and select the shortest strand. We're going to put a half hitch in it, there it is there, put a half hitch in it so we know which strand it is, and we're just going to plait down until we reach the spot where this strand becomes part of the belly and a continuation of the strand straight down the belly. This dropping sequence is critical at the right spot. We're at the second dropping point, and this strand drops from the middle. You see we've got 5 either side, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and this strand that we've marked with the half hitch is the middle strand, and we simply fold that into the middle and plait from the top again. So we've just folded that into the middle, we haven't brought it through, and we're plaiting now from the same side, from the top, and you'll see that we have